Life Audio.
Welcome to the Crosswalk Devotional. We're glad to have you listening with us. Today's topic is the best medicine. We'll return with the devotional after a brief message from our sponsors.
From director Sean McNamara comes Soul on Fire, based on a true story.
They said you had no chance, but here you are.
Starring Joel Courtney, John Corbett, Stephanie Shostak, Macy McLean, with Devon Franklin and William H. Macy.
If you focus exactly on loving the life that you're living right now, and not the life that you think you could have had or should have had, that's the whole deal right there.
Soul on Fire, rated PG. Parental guidance suggested. In theaters October 10th. For tickets, go to souloonfiremovie.com.
You know, the Bible tells us, I will bless those who bless you. That's not just a nice sentiment, it's biblical prophecy. And it's a commandment from God, it's a calling, and right now we're called to act. The teachings of the New Testament are deeply intertwined with the Hebrew Scriptures. As Christians, we are called to honor and respect this shared heritage. The Apostle Paul reminds us in Romans 11:18, do not consider yourself to be superior to those other branches. If you do, consider this. You did not support the root, but the root supports you. Supporting the people of Israel is more than a belief. It's a biblical mandate. By partnering with the International Fellowship of Christians and Jews, IFCJ, we can live out this calling together. Just as the fellowship blesses God's children, we know that you will be blessed too. Learn more about the fellowship and how you can live out your faith, bless Israel, and be blessed in return. Visit ifcj.org today. Again, that's ifcj.org. Be the blessing, live the word, answer the call.
The Best Medicine, written and read by Megan J. Connor. A cheerful heart is good medicine, but a crushed spirit dries up the bones. Proverbs 17:22 NIV. Proverbs is one of the most interesting books in the Bible, often referenced for one-off quotes like this, but in some cases ignored as a work of wisdom in its entirety. It seems as if most of us aren't really sure what to do with the book of Proverbs, so we simply skim over the content or only digest it in small doses of daily scripture reading. I have had the true privilege of editing and consulting for a beautiful Christian author who is incredibly passionate about the works of Solomon, specifically Ecclesiastes and his contributions to the book of Proverbs. Her work and message have transformed my entire perspective on the value of this ancient wisdom, especially in light of the eternal nuggets of truth it offers us. Today's scripture is one of these prized nuggets. A cheerful heart is good medicine, but a crushed spirit dries up the bones. Proverbs 17:22 NIV. The first part of this quotable quip could be a cute bookmark or slogan on a coffee cup. Perhaps you've run across one at a bookstore or a boutique. However, the latter part of the passage hits hard. The contrast of these two paradigms is so stark it is actually startling. They are extremes at opposite ends, but I sense that is exactly what the author was aiming for. Why? Because that is how strongly the position of our hearts can influence our overall mental, spiritual, and even physical states. When you face challenges, disappointments, or hardships of any kind, it is very easy to become overwhelmed by negativity, especially if the struggles you are facing are serious or life-altering. There is a strong pull beckoning you to crawl back under the covers and hide away from it all. Anxious and depressing thoughts start to convince you that all is lost, things will never change, or the pain will never go away. If you are not careful, you can be drawn into a dark, downward spiral that will begin, a little at a time, to fully crush your spirit and dry up your bones. How do I know this? Because I have lived it. Not once or twice, but repeatedly throughout my own 20-year journey through trials. It has taken me literally years to learn the power of a cheerful disposition in the midst of heartache. On this side of my shift in perspective, I can assure you the truth of this proverb is valid. Does this mean I am suggesting we placate and pretend that all is well when it's not? No, not at all. I am a firm believer in recognizing and validating the reality of our emotions, but that does not mean there is no way to control them. Feelings help us recognize that there is something that needs our attention, and we need that. Sometimes we don't comprehend how much an experience or circumstance has impacted us until those emotions start rising up and drawing attention to it. However, while they are helpful tools, they do not have to dictate our overall outlook. No matter what is going on in your life right now, everything is not bad. Good still remains. You just have to look up and out to discover it. You also have to be intentional about your search for the existing blessings. They really are there, but it is the disposition of your heart, a desire to even discover these treasures, that compels you to be cheerful. And while this practice may not alter your circumstances at the moment, it will drastically transform how you are walking through your disappointment or struggles. Intersecting faith and life. Do you believe it is possible for your outlook to be different when faced with difficulties? Even if you aren't sure you believe your dark thoughts and deep disappointments can be changed, sometimes we have to choose to begin and trust that God will prove himself faithful along the way. If we wait until we think we are ready or we finally have enough faith, we will remain stuck indefinitely. Decide today to choose a cheerful disposition. This does not mean you force yourself to be happy, but it is a conscious decision to recognize and celebrate at least one small blessing each and every day. Many call this the practice of gratitude. During one of my darkest seasons, I employed this practice every day for an entire year, and the alteration was truly effective. Did it happen overnight? Absolutely not. As a matter of fact, it took a while for me to even consciously recognize the change. But the change did occur, and my heart moved from disgruntled to grateful, from disillusioned to hopeful, and from negative to cheerful. What God is faithful to do for one, he will do for another. May you also discover a cheerful heart is the best medicine for whatever you are facing today. For further reading, take a look at Proverbs 15:13 and Psalm 51:12.
The Crosswalk Devotional is a production of Life Audio and Salem Media. If you liked what you heard today, please take a second to rate and review this podcast in your favorite podcast app so that more listeners like you can find the show. For more faith-filled, inspirational podcasts, visit us at lifeaudio.com.
At Thrivent, planning your finances is bigger than money. It's a way to support the people, causes, and community you love, because helping you put your faith into action is at the heart of what we do. Thrivent, where money means more. Connect with us at thrivent.com.